Demonic presence detected.
What the hell? Last year, I made my first VR wishlist video. These videos were meant to cover games that I wanted to see in VR, no matter how small the chance of that actually happening. Now my first wish has come true. Kinda. I wanted Doom 2016 in VR. What we got was a snack-sized version of some of the high points, experienced through the eyes of some guy who was unfortunate enough to die as soon as the game opens, but fortunate enough to have his consciousness transferred to an artificial brain matrix. So this is not Doom 2016, it's more a collection of levels where you fight the roster of demons from Doom 2016. For this review, I want to discuss story, graphics, sound and immersion, gameplay, and then at the end I'll have some final thoughts. As I mentioned before, the protagonist here isn't Doom Guy. You play as Dr. Peters, a UAC scientist who is killed in the opening scene. This was a nice little scare in VR. Then your consciousness is transferred to an artificial brain matrix, which allows you to exist in different forms to be able to stay in the fight. You must help stop the demonic invasion, so this is a side story happening from a different perspective. There's very little actual story here. It's Doom. You go through various levels, slaying all kinds of demons. An intricate plot line isn't necessary, and it's still a fairly fun ride. Doom VFR is one of the best looking games on the PSVR, so graphically, there's a lot to be happy about. Everything looks like Doom and sounds like Doom, but because it's in VR, it's way more immersive. Although problems arise when you try to read the heads-up display or any message text not in the center of the screen. Everything around the edges is blurred almost to the point of being useless. So all of the enemies are here and they look great, especially when you turn around and find them charging right at you. It really gets the adrenaline pumping. I'll mention it more when we discuss gameplay, but my chosen control scheme for most of the game was simply playing with the DualShock 4. And this meant that Doom VFR is immersive, but not as immersive as it could be or should have been. The truth is, Doom VFR looks and sounds just like it should, but how does it play? When I learned that Doom was coming to VR, I was afraid it would be limited in the gameplay department, specifically locomotion. I was excited to see so many options and that I had the option for smooth locomotion. I don't want comfort features. Set me free in the virtual world. And Doom VFR does that. And to top it off, this game has aim controller support. I was so hyped for that. And I appreciate the developers giving us so many options, but honestly, it might have been better for them to pick one and refine it. As it stands, none of the control schemes are as good as they could be, and maybe the team should have spent a little more time on this game. There are some tracking issues going on with the aim controller that ruin what should have been the preferred way to play. The gun's position is glitchy and you really can't aim down the sights. This was something that felt so awesome in Farpoint, and I was looking forward to it here, but not enough time was spent getting it right. Plus, in this control scheme, your left hand is just floating in front of your face the whole time. It breaks the immersion when you're holding the aim controller with both hands, but there's a third hand on the left side of your screen. All this could be solved if we get joysticks and all buttons on the next iteration of the Move controller. I normally can't stand the teleporting mechanic for locomotion, but playing with the DualShock 4, I found myself using the teleport quite a bit just to get around the levels faster. And while the aim controller is fun to use in VR, I found that for Doom at least, I'd rather use the DualShock 4 for extended play sessions. It's just more relaxing to sit in a chair, even if it does take away from the immersion. I never even tried the Move controllers. I read it was by far the worst way to play. There is one major gripe I have about Doom VFR's gameplay. One of the most satisfying things about Doom 2016 was the glory kills. I loved seeing the enemies glow with that blue outline and then rushing up to them and performing the glory kills. The glory kills are present in Doom VFR, but it's more of just like a quick kill where you teleport into an enemy and you see them explode. It would have been much more satisfying to be able to perform melee attacks by actually swinging the butt of my gun or punching with the move controllers. I would have loved to grab enemies with both hands and rip them right down the middle. But there's no rip and tear here. You just teleport into their personal space and that's it. It's one more thing that could have been so much better. When it comes down to it, I enjoyed Doom VFR, but there are a lot of things I wish had been done differently. It feels like they could have spent a little more time in development refining the control schemes. There are some extras included, like finding the little Doom guys to unlock classic maps, which adds to the replay value a bit. This is what I wanted: fast-paced, demon-slaying action in VR. It's just not as polished as I would have liked it to be. It's fun, just not as fun as Doom 2016. Have you tried it? What did you think? Comment below and let me know. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this review, and I look forward to bringing more to you very soon.
Just loan me that for a while. Guess not.